Hello VC, I'm Dark Dove back again. As I said, I'm doing a follow-up video to my recent vinyl update. I did say I would split my finds into two videos. This is the follow-up video. It's Thursday the 28th of July. I'd probably wait about a week to upload this one. So primarily I'm going to focus on some very interesting, some very nice vinyl thrift finds, or thrift or charity shop finds as we call them here, and plus a nice big haul of CDs which I made in a flea market. I'll also be showing some other random separate CD finds as well, but starting off with a particular charity shop in town where I've made some nice finds recently. The Down Syndrome charity shop. So found some nice stuff there in the past, but this is a find from a few weeks ago. Best of the Doors. Yeah, pretty common album. Compilation released in 1980. I used to have this on cassette years ago. This copy has been played quite a bit, but it's fine. It's in fine condition. Don't have much Doors on vinyl, so nice to have that in the collection. And now, in the same charity shop, maybe about a week or so later, made a return visit and found they put out some new stuff. Casually flicking through it, through their new I spotted a familiar album cover. You all know that one. It's the freewheeling Bob Dylan. Immediately grabbed it. Well, anybody who's ever found albums of this vintage in charity or thrift shops will know. Probably the first thing you do is hope that the vinyl is in good condition, that it's not gouged or scratched to hell or whatever. And it was quite dirty, but I could see that it was in pretty decent enough condition. So this is actually yeah, Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. This is an original UK mono pressing from 1964. So it's got the old orange label. As I said, it was quite dirty, but I gave it a good cleaning, and it plays perfectly. Just a few. There's a few minor marks on it, but really it plays absolutely fine. It plays perfectly. So very happy to find that. When it comes to Bob, I'm more of a fan of his mid-70s output. You know, Blood on the Tracks and Desire. But still very pleased to find this original mono copy. You'll probably notice the sleeve, there's a bit of I'm not sure what you call that, but it's some sort of reaction to the laminate. You see that sometimes on laminated sleeves. It's kind of gone all kind of peeling off, and it's gone all kind of foggy or something, which is a pity, but that's pretty much the only major fault with it, really. But yeah, so very pleased to find that. Iconic, it's a pretty iconic cover, that Bob and the lovely Susie Rotolo. Okay, so I picked up 3 records in total. Next one, next one, just 2 seconds. Somewhat connected, and That is Odetta Sings Dylan. Odetta, folk singer from the American Deep South, who was a very big influence on Bob Dylan in his early days. And this is the 1965 release where she actually covers Dylan tracks. Again, this is an original UK mono pressing. And like the Freewheelin' Bob, it was pretty dirty, but I cleaned it up, and it really plays fine. It's an RCA Victor, black and red label there. I think her interpretations of Dylan songs are actually, I think they're a lot of them are actually quite better than the originals. She really does have a fantastic voice, or did rather. Sorry, did. In there. So, you know, quite a few of the songs on this are on the Freewheelin' Bob album, Mr. Tambourine Man, Masters of War. So it's interesting to play the two of them back to back for comparison. And I think I actually prefer her interpretations, but so yeah, but quite rare, and very pleased with those two finds. Now there's one more pickup I made from that haul. Well, I wouldn't imagine many of you would be familiar with this, but this is an Irish traditional folk album. I have to admit I'd never heard of this guy before, Padraig O'Cara. This was released on a label called Gail Lynn. Show you that label there. It's Irish traditional music label, which I've shown quite a lot of stuff from it in some of my updates recently. This is quite unusual in that it features the zither, as you'll see there, which is, I have to admit, it's the first time I've ever come across the zither being used in an Irish traditional folk album. This guy, Padraig O'Cara himself, didn't know much about him. All I know about him is that he is deceased. This was released in 1977, and yeah, I really like this. It has a similar kind of an effect to the harp, really, and I do like harp music. So so all three of those records, the Dylan, the Odetta, and this one, were €5 in total, which is, I know most of you don't deal with euros, but it's just slightly, maybe slightly more than $5, $5 US. So I thought that was fantastic in a mini haul. Okay, so one more vinyl charity shop haul to show you. This is by an artist who I don't collect. Okay, Bruce Springsteen. I don't generally collect his records, or I don't go out. I don't set out. I mean, okay, I like some of his stuff, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan particularly. But I just came across these randomly, these 7-inch singles, and they were for sale for €1 each. So I thought, what the hell, I'll grab them. It's 4 in total. Promised Land, Hungry Heart, The River, and Born to Run. Now, I was looking at these, and all 4 of them um, have come in with these orange CBS labels, and I was looking at, couldn't find out anything about them on Discogs, but they, it does state that they were made in Ireland, so they're Irish pressings. Did a little bit of further online research, and it turns out that all four of these were part of a promo release. They were part of a promo, promo package, which was released only in Ireland in 1983. It was called the Springsteen Irish Pack. It was called, and it was limited to 500 copies. Now, originally, as it came out originally, it was all the singles came in a kind of a presentation pouch, whereby if you can just kind of picture, four of them are kind of like this inside the pouch, and there was kind of a cardboard label, but that's missing. They did the four of them are separate. I mean, the four of them, they didn't come with the pouch, but the four singles are all together. So it turns out it's pretty rare, and it has gone for quite a. I was checking it up on PopPsych, and it has gone for quite a lot of money. But that would generally tend to be when they have the pouch, the kind of the presentation pouch. But I think they were. I think it was withdrawn from sale soon after being released, because there's a few misspellings on the label. They spelt Steve Van Zant's name wrong. It spelt his name as Steve Van Lant. So so there's only 500 copies pressed, and it's pretty rare. So it's an interesting find. Moving on. Some CD finds. Different charity shop made a kind of a mini CD haul. This is a band Tool. Tool, kind of progressive metal group. I think Thump Finger showed this before. This is a what's this called? 10,000 Days. And this is pretty interesting. This is comes in a kind of a presentation kind of kaleidoscope kind of thing, and not sure if you can really kind of make out the effects there, but there's all these kind of psychedelic illustrations where you can view the through the lens. The album itself, I'm kind of ambivalent about it, but it was, it's such a kind of packaging alone made it worth grabbing. Along with it, I grabbed these two CDs by Tool Mars Volta. What's that one called? Autechre and Francis the Mute. I have a few CDs by them already. They're quite interesting. The vocals can be a bit much at times, but yeah, they're nice finds. Now this was something which I was looking for a long time, which I found in the same charity shop on a different day, and that is the soundtrack to Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence by Ryuichi Sakamoto of Yellow Magic Orchestra. Had been looking for this So this is a 1994 Swiss CD release on the label's called Milan. And Furio, apparently that's the French language, that's what the movie was titled in French-speaking territories. But very pleased to get this soundtrack, because this is just an amazing soundtrack. There's also contributions on it from David Sylvian, so very, very pleased to find that. Okay, so the rest of what I'm going to show you is a haul of CDs which I made in a local flea market. Now CDs, I came across a stall holder who I kind of know her vaguely. She's this girl. She's selling off her CD collection, and was having a look through them and found some very interesting stuff. She was looking for €2 each for for each CD, but I got her down a little bit low, so I paid just slightly less than I made two different trips there on 2 weekends, so paid slightly less than €2 each for these. So starting off first, this is Joe Meek, I Hear a New World. Hear a New World, originally released in 1960. This is a very early electronic album. Joe Meek was famous as a producer mainly, and he produced likes of Telstar by the Shadows. So this was originally released as an EP, 1960. Absolutely groundbreaking stuff. Like, this is like 10 years before the likes of Kraftwerk and Tangerine Dream emerged. This is an extended CD, which also includes there's an interview with him as well, and there was a booklet with it, but unfortunately it's become wet at some point, and the booklet has become, I think there's some kind of fold-out poster on it, but it's become wet, and unfortunately it's stuck to the booklet. So but still very pleased to pick this up. Now the next find, this was something which I was not familiar with, but I thought it looked and sounded extremely interesting. Camille 2000. It's the soundtrack to a 1970 Italian movie. Never seen the movie, but apparently it's some sort of semi-porn, kind of erotic kind of movie. Soundtrack is by Piero Piccioni, and it turns out, I got a bit of a shock when I looked this up on Discogs later, and it turns out this goes for quite a lot of money. The cheapest copy of this currently, of this particular CD on Discogs, is something like €45. So it's pretty rare. Just show you, there's a nice fold out poster sleeve. That's in there. Yeah, this is a really, really nice. Apart from its collectability, it's a really, really, really nice kind of funky soundtrack. It's very hard to track to. There's a vinyl release as well from '98, and also I think there's a bootleg as well. But this is the official 1998 Italian CD issue. So very, very pleased to find that, because it turns out this is pretty rare and hard to find. Some shoegaze, Slowdive, seminal shoegaze album from 1993. This is a CD issue from 2005. Double CD with an extra CD of extra material. Oh yeah, sorry. This album is called Souvlaki. There's some contributions from Brian Eno on this album as well, and really excellent album. Kind of similar to My Bloody Valentine kind of a vibe. So quite pleased to get that as well. Now, this is by a band whom I previously did not have anything by, despite me being a huge Nick Cave fan. The Birthday Party, Nick Cave's old band, which got predated the Bad Seeds. This is a live album comprising of material recorded in 1981 to 82. I think this was released. In, I'm not too sure. Was maybe maybe the late 90s. I'm not 100% sure, but very pleased to pick this up because I absolutely nothing by the Birthday Party on either CD or vinyl. So see their stuff at fairs, but always very expensive. So quite pleased to pick that up. This is something which I actually already have the 12-inch of this, but I thought it'd be worth grabbing it on CD all the same. Autechre, which came out on the Warp label in 2000. This is Autechre Peel sessions, so sessions recorded with John Peel. Always grab it, anything on the Warp label whenever I see it. So and in a kind of a similar vein, Spiritualized, ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space. Absolutely classic album released in 1997. Modern space rock. Yeah, this is a modern classic. This is one album. If you like space rock or kind of modern, like a modern take on it, this is an essential album to have. Now this is another very interesting find. Flamin Groovies. Groovies Greatest Grooves. Flamin Groovies, band active initially in the late 60s, early 70s, and they were kind of out of kilter with the times. They were kind of in a similar vein to the Stooges and the MC5 in a way, kind of precursors to punk rock, I suppose you could say. They made a comeback in the late 70s actually, during the punk era. So this covers material from their early 70s heyday right up to their late 70s comeback. So there's some great material on here, and this is I'm not sure what label this was released on, but anyway, now two finds by Sonic Youth, Daydream Nation and Dirty. Oh, sorry, no. Dirty. Daydream Nation and Dirty. Don't really need to say too much about these two albums. I'm sure many of you are very, very familiar with these. Ben Costello, big fan. 3 CDs by Julian Cope. Julian Cope of The Teardrop Explodes. This is his debut, Fried, from 1984. I think this is a reissue from about 1990. Famous for that picture the cover picture of him naked under a kind of a tortoise shell. So there you go. Yeah, I picked up 3 by him. Autechre, which is from '94, and Jehovah Kill from maybe '92, I think. Yeah, '92. So there you go. Julian Cope. This is an interesting one. This is a live album by, it's featuring in, I think, running order, War, Curtis Mayfield, Kool and the Gang, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and Jimmy Witherspoon. Now it features just 1 track by each. This was recorded in '74, and this is a CD, 1989 CD issue on Chess. I think this possibly might be a bootleg, this particular CD. Looking it up, seems to be kind of the semi-official, I think. So some great performances on this, especially the Curtis Mayfield track, "Give Me Your Love." I think that's the highlight of it. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up with just two. This is by Kieran Hebden and Steve Reed. Steve Reed, late jazz drummer who played with the likes of Miles Davis and John Coltrane. This is an album. This is actually a live recording of a concert he did with, or a performance he did with Kieran Hebden, who was Kieran Hebden, electronic musician. This was recorded in 2005, and really love this. There's only 3 tracks on it, but it's kind of like electronica meets free jazz, and it's fantastic. This is one of the highlights, I think, of this haul. I'm gonna finish up a band, Tortise, who are a band I've been aware of for a while, but they've kind of never managed to pick anything up by them. I know they have a new album out at the moment. This is called Standards. This came out, I think this came out in 2001. Difficult to categorize this, kind of modern krautrock meets prog rock meets kind of elements of free jazz, electronica. Yeah, really like this. I've been playing this quite a bit since I picked it up, so I'll be looking out for more of their stuff. Okay, so that's it. 28 minutes. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.